Imagine a city built on illusions, where everyone believed luck was on their side. But what happens when luck itself abandons the place? Las Vegas, the world capital of gambling and entertainment, is experiencing a crisis the casinos won't talk about. Tourists are vanishing, homes are emptying, and workers are quietly losing their jobs. The neon lights still burn, but behind them lies a city on the edge of collapse. Stay until the end, because the most shocking revelation awaits you in the final point. And what's happening beneath Vegas will make you shudder. Number 10. The underground city of shadows. While millions of lights sparkle above, beneath Las Vegas exists an entirely different world. In the concrete tunnels of the storm drainage system, stretching for hundreds of kilometers under the Strip, thousands of people live. This isn't an urban legend, it's the reality of modern Vegas. The city's homeless population exploded in 2025. According to recent data, Las Vegas ranks in the top 10 U.S. cities for homeless population per capita. Residents above ground complain about aggressive panhandling, encampments near the Strip, and feeling unsafe even in tourist areas. Clark County authorities introduced a camping ban, but the problem just went underground, literally. In the tunnels there's no electricity, plumbing, or ventilation. People live in darkness, surrounded by rats and waste. During rare desert storms, water can fill the tunnels in minutes, turning them into death traps. The project to evict the homeless from the Las Vegas wash system faces serious difficulties. These people simply have nowhere to go. This isn't just a social problem. It's a mirror reflecting the city's true face. Above, casinos earn billions, while below, people fight for survival in concrete holes. The image of luxurious Vegas shatters against the reality of an underground city of shadows. And this brutal truth drives away tourists faster than any crisis. Number 9. The foreclosure flood. Imagine driving through a Las Vegas suburb and instead of sale signs, you're met with a wall of foreclosure notices. This is the new reality in Nevada, which now leads the entire nation in homes facing default. In just one recent month, more than 2,326 properties in the valley received foreclosure filings. Why is this happening? Because homeownership in Vegas has become a nearly impossible dream. A family now needs an income of around $130,000 a year just to afford a typical home here. But the average casino worker, even with dual incomes in the household, falls tens of thousands short. When your job pays closer to service industry wages, but the mortgage requires a six-figure salary, the math simply doesn't add up. Families are forced to rent, while hedge funds and investment giants swoop in, buying hundreds or even thousands of homes at a time. The American dream of owning a piece of Vegas is being replaced by a corporate landlord reality. This foreclosure wave is a recession signal. Economists use the SAM rule, which links spikes in unemployment with incoming recessions. For long-time residents, this feels eerily familiar. In 2008, Las Vegas was ground zero of the housing crash. Entire cul-de-sacs were abandoned, values plunged by 60%. Today, the warning signs are back. Unsold inventory piling up, more than 70% of listings getting little or no buyer action. Number 8. The Canadian disappearance. For decades, Canadians were the lifeblood of Las Vegas tourism. But in 2025, that pipeline is drying up, and the numbers are brutal. Airline data shows direct flights from Canada to Vegas have plunged, with some carriers seeing drops of 20 to 30% in passenger volume. That's not just fewer tourists, that's millions in lost revenue. Why does this matter so much? Canadians have historically been among the highest-spending international visitors. A weekend drive-in visitor from Southern California might book a discounted room and split a buffet, but Canadians fly in, stay longer, and spend big on shows, dining, and casino floors. Losing them is like cutting off the premium tier of Vegas's customer base. The reasons behind the exodus are complex. Exchange rates have made U.S. travel more expensive for Canadians. Add in higher airfare, baggage fees, and the nickel-and-dime culture of Vegas, resort fees, paid parking, $20 cocktails, and suddenly the math no longer works. Political factors also play a role. Some experts note that Trump's policies are deterring Canadians, creating a feeling of unwelcomeness at the border. Online forums are full of Canadians sharing horror stories of long border delays and strict security checks. That sentiment spreads fast, and when Canadians cancel, it's entire bachelor parties, family reunions, or annual snowbird getaways vanishing from the books. Number 7. Collapsing hotel occupancy. Picture this, July 4th, traditionally one of the busiest weekends of the year in Vegas. Fireworks, pool parties, jam-packed casinos. But in 2025, the city's occupancy rate fell 6.5 percentage points, dropping to just 78.7% of rooms filled. That's not just a bad weekend, that's a nightmare scenario for a town built on full hotels. For perspective, weekend occupancy on the Strip hadn't dipped below 90% in years. When even America's party capital can't draw a crowd for Independence Day, something is deeply broken. Why does this matter? Because hotel occupancy is the heartbeat of Las Vegas. Every empty room means fewer gamblers in the casino, fewer diners at the restaurants, fewer tickets sold for shows. With rates plunging, casino operators are caught in a vicious cycle. Cut staff to save money, which kills service quality, which then drives away even more visitors. We've already seen secret layoffs at big resorts like the Cosmopolitan, over 200 housekeepers quietly cut. A limo driver recently admitted his business is drying up, while his partner at the casino scrambles for fewer and fewer shifts. This ripple effect spreads across the valley, less foot traffic on Fremont, fewer cars on the Strip. Vegas streets are empty, without people, that's how bad it's gotten. If Vegas can't keep its hotels full, the whole ecosystem cracks. Number 6. Silent layoffs on the Strip. The neon lights might look the same, but behind the curtains, thousands of Vegas workers are vanishing from the payroll. Officially, the unemployment rate in Las Vegas has climbed to 5.8% as of June. Far higher than the pre-pandemic years when it hovered in the low 3% range. But the real damage isn't in the headlines. It's in the silent layoffs casinos don't want you to hear about. Take the Cosmopolitan, one of the Strip's most glamorous resorts. Locals whisper about how 200 housekeepers were quietly cut earlier this summer. No press release, no flashy headlines, just hard-working people suddenly scrambling for hours, tips, and basic survival. From cocktail servers to limo drivers, workers are watching their incomes dry up. This is an identity crisis. Las Vegas built its reputation on service: the smiling blackjack dealer, the spotless suite cleaned overnight, the cocktail waitress who remembers your drink order. Strip away that labor force and you strip away the very soul of the city. When a guest pays $400 a night and gets Walmart-level service, they don't come back. The layoffs are also part of a bigger storm. Across the U.S., tech companies shed 95,000 jobs in 2024, and the ripple effects are hitting travel destinations. Families with shrinking incomes cancel vacations, corporate groups cut conferences. Fewer visitors mean fewer shifts for casino staff, and the cycle spirals down. Number 5. Housing on lockdown. Las Vegas once bragged about being one of the fastest-moving real estate markets in the country. But in 2025, the game is flipped. Right now, 77% of homes on the market are seeing little to no action. That's not a slowdown, it's paralysis. The math no longer works. A household needs to earn $130,000 a year just to comfortably afford a home in Las Vegas. Yet, the average casino worker makes nowhere near that. Even in two-income households, most families fall short. The result: unsold listings piling up, price cuts that barely move the needle. And here's the darker twist: the vacuum is being filled by corporate landlords. Hedge funds are buying hundreds or even thousands of homes at a time, then flipping them into rentals. For ordinary residents, that means fewer opportunities to own and more dependence on rent checks sent to Wall Street. It's a shift from live in Vegas to lease in Vegas. The freeze in sales is also a warning for the wider economy. Vegas often serves as a barometer for economic trends. When the city experiences a downturn, it signals that the broader nation or even global economy may soon follow. In 2008, Vegas was ground zero for the housing crash. Today, we're seeing the same early symptoms. Number 4. Water disappearing. Imagine a city built in the desert that suddenly realizes its source of life is drying up. Lake Mead, which provides 90% of Las Vegas's water, is at record low levels. In September 2025, the water level dropped 6 feet compared to last year. This isn't just statistics, it's a warning of an impending catastrophe. Why does this matter? Because without water, there are no casinos, no pools, no fountains that attract millions of visitors. The Colorado River, which feeds Lake Mead, is experiencing the worst drought in 110 years. More than 40 million people in 7 states depend on this source, and Nevada gets the smallest share. Las Vegas has deployed water police patrols. 50 investigators daily check homes for violations of water use rules. Fines reach $1,300 for watering lawns at the wrong time. The city banned new lawns and pays residents to remove old ones. By 2027, all non-essential green spaces must be eliminated, which will save 9.5 billion gallons of water annually. But this is only a temporary measure. Long-term forecasts show that by the end of 2026, Lake Mead levels could reach historic lows. For a city whose identity is built on abundance and luxury, the water crisis isn't just an environmental problem. It's a threat to the very existence. If Las Vegas can't solve this problem, the Bellagio fountains will dry up, rooftop pools will close. Number 3. Infrastructure on the edge. Las Vegas was built to dazzle you with neon, not to move you efficiently. For years, the city leaned on cheap flights and endless parking garages. But in 2025, the cracks in the foundation are impossible to ignore. Visitors complain of soaring costs just to get around. Once upon a time, you could park your car for free at nearly every resort on the Strip. Today, paid parking has become the norm, with fees that can hit $25 to $30 per day. For a family road tripping from California, that's an immediate slap in the face before they've even checked in. Add to that $50 rideshare bills from the airport thanks to surge pricing. Then there's the traffic. The Strip itself has become a gridlock nightmare with rideshares, delivery vans, and construction projects all competing for the same lanes. Tourists report spending nearly as much time in Ubers as at the tables. And while Elon Musk's Boring Company tunnels were supposed to revolutionize local transit, the system remains limited. Locals aren't spared either. Daily commutes are getting longer as suburban sprawl outpaces road expansion. Public transit remains skeletal compared to other major metros. The city's population growth once justified big bets on new infrastructure. But with tourism softening and the housing market freezing, funding those upgrades now looks less like an investment and more like a gamble. Number 2. Policies breaking trust. For decades, Las Vegas thrived on a simple promise: you come here and we'll make you feel rich. But in 2025, that promise has been broken by a labyrinth of taxes, hidden fees, and management decisions. The fallout is brutal: fewer tourists, burned-out locals, and investors wondering if Sin City is worth the gamble. Let's start with the most hated culprit: resort fees. These mandatory extras were once around $10 a night. Today, they can top $55 per night on top of your room rate. Guests booking a $150 room suddenly face bills north of $250 after parking, taxes, and fees. For international visitors, this feels like bait and switch. Then come the taxes. Nevada has no state income tax, but that makes the government heavily reliant on tourism and hospitality levies. Sales taxes, gaming fees, hotel occupancy taxes, they all pile up, making Vegas one of the most expensive destinations. Management missteps only compound the problem. Resorts chase quarterly profits by cutting staff, raising fees, and automating service. This destroys the human touch that made Vegas special. Even infrastructure projects feel half-baked, raising questions about whether leadership is more focused on headlines than solutions. And investors are noticing. Hedge funds are slowing purchases, spooked by high foreclosure rates and stagnating demand. Convention organizers are weighing cheaper cities. The phrase, "Vegas is overcharging for less," is becoming a common refrain. Trust is the currency Las Vegas can't afford to lose. Number 1. The identity crisis. Las Vegas has always been a city of reinvention. In the 1950s, it was the mob's playground; in the 1980s, a family destination; in the 2000s, a luxury capital. But in 2025, the question hangs heavier than desert heat. What is Las Vegas now? The problem is that the city is trying to be everything at once, and in the process, it's becoming nothing at all. Corporate giants have squeezed out the grit and character. Instead of free parking and cheap shrimp cocktails, we now have $55 resort fees, $25 parking charges, and $20 cocktails. The neon spectacle still shines, but behind it, the magic feels manufactured. This identity crisis is showing up everywhere. To older generations, Vegas no longer feels affordable or welcoming. To millennials and Gen Z, it doesn't feel relevant. Why gamble in a casino when you can invest on your phone or fly to Tulum for a fraction of the price? Even conventions are asking whether Vegas's sky-high costs are worth it. Locals feel the crisis too. They see empty homes, rising foreclosures, stagnant wages, and service jobs wiped away by automation or secret layoffs. They hear the promise of opportunity but live the reality of instability. Vegas was supposed to be a place where anyone could take a shot, win big, and build a life. Increasingly, it feels like the odds are stacked against you. And here's the haunting truth: if Vegas loses its identity, it loses its future. The city was never just about gambling or entertainment. It was about escape, about making people believe they were wealthier, luckier, and freer. That illusion built an empire in the desert. But if tourists no longer feel the magic, if residents no longer feel stability, then the house doesn't win, it crumbles. The freefall we're witnessing isn't just about hotel rooms or home sales. It's about a city at war with itself, glittering on the outside, hollowing out on the inside. The ultimate gamble for Las Vegas isn't whether the next hand pays out. It's whether the city can rediscover who it really is before the lights dim for good. Las Vegas isn't dying overnight. But the signs: empty rooms, foreclosures, disappearing Canadians, water crisis, underground city of shadows, and a broken identity, are impossible to ignore. Vegas needs to stop nickel-and-diming and start rebuilding trust, or the freefall could become permanent. What do you think? Is Vegas still worth the trip, or has it lost its soul? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like if this breakdown opened your eyes, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive into America's changing cities.